Hello. Today I will be giving you a demonstration of the MuRanker tool. The MuRanker tool is used to rank mutants that are generated during mutation testing. There are only a couple of requirements that are needed in order for you to be able to run the MuRanker tool. The first requirement is that the tool requires a Java JDK version of 1.6. The reason for this is because the MuJava tool will not work properly with a Java JDK version of 1.7. The other requirement to use the MuRanker tool is that you must have Apache Ant installed and configured on your desktop or laptop. A third requirement is that all of the programs that you want to use within the MuRanker tool, they must have an Ant build file. Okay. So assuming that you've configured the JDK and installed Apache Ant, the next thing that you need to look at is at the installation folder that is provided. This folder will come with 3 versions of the MuRanker tool. It comes with a Linux version for 32-bit systems. This version allows you to use the GUI tool in Linux systems. It also supplies a command line version that is only available for Linux systems. It also comes with a 32 and 64-bit versions of the MuRanker tool. Another thing that is included is a sample Ant project that we will be using throughout this demonstration. So for this demonstration, we will use the MuRanker 64-bit version. In order to use MuRanker, you must first install and configure it to your system. To do that, you just double-click on install muranker.bat. Then you get this command console window. Here, you select yes to install, and then it asks you to enter the Java JDK path. Typically, this path is found under program files and Java. So we'll copy this path to the console and press enter. Here, the program will compile all of the classes and it will create all the necessary files to run MuRanker. It specifically creates this muranker.bat file, which allows you to double click on it in order to run the MuRanker tool. Once the MuRanker tool is up and running, you can create a new project by going to File, New Project. Here, the tool requests that you enter 5 different paths. These paths are the location of various folders within the project that you want to mutate. Before you proceed, you must make sure that the project that you are using has been compiled and has a directory that contains all of the .class files for your project. So we'll go ahead and use the sample Ant project that we provided with the installation folder of MuRanker tool. And the first thing that you need to do is you need to browse to the project location, which is the root directory of the project. And you select Open File. Then it asks you to browse to the class folder. This is the folder that contains the compiled classes. You select it. Here you make a note of the name of the subdirectory. This will be explained in the next path. We asked you to make a note of the subdirectory of classes because the name that is used for that subdirectory must be the same in the source folder, which is the folder that you need to define for the third path. If these 2 folder names don't match, if their subdirectories don't match, it will cause problems when you run MuJava. So make sure that those 2 match. Next, you must browse to the library folder location. Typically, projects have a library folder location that contain the jar files that you're using in your project. If you don't have one, just select the root directory. Here, we don't have one, so we'll select Ant and click Open. The next thing that it asks is that you go and browse to your working folder location. This is a location that the MuRanker tool will use to store your mutants and all of the files that are used to rank those mutants. So here we've previously created an ant working folder, and that's what we'll use to store all our data files. And then you click Done. Okay, then you get a window that asks you to select the ant task that is used to run the main or the JUnit test cases. This is a defined task that will execute all of your JUnit test cases or will execute your main. It requests this information because that is the task that the tool will instrument in order to automate the code coverage metric. So in the sample project, that task is test. We select it and click OK. Once you've defined all your paths, the program shows those paths in this window. You can verify that they are correctly defined. If they are not, then you can create a new project again and redefine them. But once you've correctly defined them, you can go ahead and go to Tools and run MuJava so that you can start creating your mutants. Okay, so once you run MuJava, you can select in this pane all of the classes that you want to mutate. For this demonstration, we will only select 3 classes. And you can also select the method level or class level operators that you want to apply to those classes. So we'll go ahead and select all of them. Once you select all of them, you click on Generate. In this window, you can see the progress of the mutation. When all of the mutants have been handled, you will receive a message that says all files are handled. If you don't want to generate any more mutants, then you can go ahead and close it. So we'll do that. So now we are ready to start processing the mutants. So we click on Tools and Process. When you click on that, you will receive a warning message that will say you are about to process 27 classes. The reason why you receive this warning is because depending on the number of test cases that you created for your project, it will affect the runtime of the application. So when you first use the application, it's recommended that you start with a few mutants to see how long it takes to process, maybe like 5. Once you have the time that it takes to process the mutants, then you can create more mutants, and you'll have a rough estimation on the amount of time that it will take to run the application. If you do want to delete mutants, you do have that option. Here you can just select Cancel, and then you go to View Mutants. Click on View Mutants, and it shows you all of the classes that were mutated, and if you click, you're able to see the mutants that are created under that. So when you delete mutants, you must make sure that you do not delete the mutation log or method lists in either the class mutants folder or the traditional mutants folder. For this demonstration, we will not delete any mutants. We'll go ahead and generate and process all 29 classes. So we'll click on Tools, Process Mutants. So we'll go ahead and process all of those. So we click OK. This may take some time, but you can monitor your progress in this current mutant progress bar. While the mutants are being processed, you will see all of these command console windows pop up. The reason for that is because they are creating files that are needed for each one of the metrics, and so they will continuously pop up until all of the mutants have been processed. When all of the mutants are processed, you will receive a message in this window. The message that you receive tells you that all of the mutants have been processed and that your reports are ready. It tells you to click Report Reports if you want to view the reports. It also tells you the location where it's going to save the MuRanker report.xml file. It's important to know that that file has been saved because it can be used by the user to view the reports at a later time. Okay, so once it finishes processing all of the mutants, you can go to Reports to view the list of ranked mutants. The first report that you see is the ranking report. This list gives you a ranked mutant list from hard to identify to easy to identify. If you want to see the details of each one of these mutants, you can click on Mutants Report. Here, the mutants are organized by classes. Each class contains the mutants that were generated for that particular class. And you can view them by expanding each class. Here you have the ability to sort the mutants by CFG, or by Gimple value, or by coverage, and also by their summation value. Here you can also save your reports by clicking on Save Reports. You can save your reports to your default location, which is your ANT working directory, or the directory that you selected to save all your mutants, and the reports will be saved under Reports. You can select yes if you want to save them there, or you can select no to save them somewhere else like your desktop. The reports that are generated are reports of the format .csv, which can be opened using Microsoft Office Excel. Using this feature, you can do all sorts of calculations using the data that is generated by these reports. In this mutants report, you can also look at the specific details of a mutant. For example, if you want to look at the details of JTI1, you double click. It gives you two options. You can either open a mutant and original directory, or you can view the HTML coverage report. If you select the second one, it allows you to view the original and mutated class directories, which contain the generated Gimple files, the coverage reports for both of them, source code, and HTML coverage reports and CFG directories for both of them. It allows you to manually go and examine a particular mutant if you want. It also, the first option, you can double click and then select View HTML Coverage Reports. Opens a new window. In this new window, you can see the coverage reports for the mutant and for the original. These reports provide information such as the missed instructions. 8 out of 18 instructions were missed, and then the percentage. It gives you missed branches, mixed complexity, missed lines, and missed methods. You can view that for both the mutant and original. If you want to view the source code, you can click on one of these methods on each, and you can compare the mutant and original source code. I want to note here that in this window you can also see the mutant information in this left corner. Here it gives you the mutant type and name, and it also provides you with the line number where the mutation was performed. It also gives you the mutation that was performed. For this particular mutant, L was changed from L to this .L. So if we go and examine the mutant source code, we can compare and see that indeed that is the mutation that was performed. Some helpful shortcut keys that will help you navigate through these reports. You can use backspace to go back to a previous window. And you can also use Control F to search a source file. and you can find anything you want to find easily. One last thing I want to show is how you load a saved MuRanker report. To load a saved MuRanker report after you've closed the application, you go to File, Load Report, and then you go to the directory that you selected as your working directory the previous time you ran the application. So you go to, we selected Ant Working Folder, and then the report will be saved under this MuRanker Reports. This is one that we ran previously, so we'll open that. And as you can see, these are the previous values that we obtained. So it allows you to retrieve your reports without having to rerun and process the mutants all over again. That concludes this demonstration. Thank you.